The story of Cinderella.
Hi mga jewels! Welcome back to my channel, Catherine Jewels channel. So please subscribe, watch, like, share, and click the notification bell. Let's go!
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful, sweet young girl with blue eyes and long blonde hair. She was the daughter of a rich merchant who loved her dearly. When her mother died, her father decided his daughter would need a good woman to bring her up and take care of her. And so, he married again. Unfortunately, the stepmother turned out to be greedy and selfish. And her two daughters, the stepsisters of the beautiful young girl, were arrogant and envious. Since the merchant often had to travel, the stepmother and stepsisters began to rule the household. The young girl was forced always to dress in rags dirty from dust and cinders, so much so that everyone soon began to call her Cinderella. One day, the son of the king who wished to marry invited all the young women in the kingdom to a great ball so that he could meet and choose a wife. In Cinderella's house, they began to make great preparation. Expensive clothes were purchased, different styles were tried, and a selection of jewels was made to wear. Nothing made Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters happy, and she, as usual, served them without a word of complaint. She too had been invited to the ball, but her stepmother refused to take her. At last, the long-awaited evening arrived. The stepsisters were transformed, each wearing a beautiful dress covered in jewels. Cinderella felt so unhappy as she watched them apart. She too would have loved to go to the ball. She too would have loved to wear a silk dress. The poor girl couldn't hold back her sobs. She cried so much that the floor was bathed in her tears. But when she raised her eyes, she was face to face with a beautiful lady. It was her fairy godmother.
Why are you crying, little Cinderella? Do you too wish to go to the ball?
The lady asked her.
The ball is no place for me,
replied Cinderella sadly. Well, let's see about that. Bring me a pumpkin. With one touch of her magic wand, the lady changed the pumpkin into a splendid carriage. She changed 4 mice into horses and a couple of lizards into coachman in livery. Everything is ready, said the fairy godmother. You may go to the ball.
But dressed like this?
Said Cinderella, pointing to her rags. The fairy godmother sighed. You're absolutely right. With a wave of her wand, the rags disappeared and Cinderella found herself wearing a silk dress studded in gold, crystal slippers, and precious jewels. Only Cinderella's lovely face needed no change, for now she's happy and smiling. Now get and go, said the fairy godmother. But remember, at the first stroke of midnight, you must leave the ball. At that moment, the spell will begin to work. The carriage will again become lizards once again, and you will be the same as Cinderella as before, dressed in rags. The ball was fabulous. Everyone admired the unknown princess, and the prince insisted on dancing with her all evening. Cinderella's heart overflowed with joy. When the clock struck the first stroke of midnight, Cinderella did not lose a moment. Still smiling, she ran quickly away. The prince ran after her but could not catch her. The only trace of her that found was a little crystal slipper that Cinderella had lost while running down the palace stairs. At the palace, the prince was desolate. He had to find the beautiful girl who was at the ball, the one who had lost her slippers, and the prince would marry the girl. It fitted perfectly. The moment after the court official began their search, but not one young maiden managed to fit into the extraordinary slippers. Finally, the prince arrived at the merchant's house and bought up the stepsisters. Tried on the slippers, absolutely useless. It was so small and so delicate that they could not even get their toes into it. The prince, who was growing ever more sad and disappointed, was about to leave when he noticed Cinderella, who was standing shyly in the background. "Who are you?" she said. "Oh, she's just only a servant," replied the stepmother. But the prince looked into Cinderella's eyes and in great excitement commanded her to sit down before the chamberlain. She extended her foot. The slipper was perfect fit. Immediately, Cinderella was dressed as she was at the ball. The prince asked her to be his wife, and the marriage was celebrated that very day. It was a magnificent ceremony worthy of the great love. And as regards the stepmother and stepsisters, the prince might have wanted them to punish them for their wickedness. But Cinderella chose to forgive them. She invited them all to come and live with them in the royal palace. And soon after, the two stepsisters married two noble knights of the court. Her stepmother at last realized the error of her ways and became kind and gentle to everyone. So the story finished with the most beautiful spell of all. They live happily ever after. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and notification bell. Like, comment, and share.